Welcome to the Household Chef, and today we're making another island classic, chicken long rice. It's very easy to make, it takes about an hour. The unique thing about this recipe is the noodles. So I have here some cellophane noodles. They're sometimes called glass noodles, they're sometimes called bean thread noodles, sometimes they're called long rice noodles. If they don't have it at your local grocery store, you could probably find it if you have a local Asian market. If not, they're easily found online as well. Now let me show you how easy this, and quick and easy this is to make. Here is 4 bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs. And what we're essentially going to do here is make stock, and we're actually going to be cooking this chicken in the stock. Since we're essentially making stock, what I've done is I've got my mirepoix here. I've diced up some celery, carrots, and onion, a little bit of garlic too. I'm going to cook that down with some olive oil in the stock pot till it's fragrant and translucent, and that'll take this whole dish up a notch. So once those are fragrant and translucent, I'll go ahead and add 32 ounces of, this is room temperature chicken stock. I'll add that to my stock pot, as well as the larger pieces of the vegetables, as well as the chicken. We'll bring that up to a simmer for 40 minutes. So right before cooking the vegetables, I've got a bowl of room temperature water here. I'm going to add my cellophane noodles. They'll soak and they'll be all ready to go about 40 minutes from now when the rest of the chicken is cooked and the stock's finished. And then we'll add them to complete the dish. Make sure they're fully covered in the water and set it aside. Adding a tablespoon of olive oil to my stock pot, or you can use a Dutch oven, and adding the mirepoix and cooking it till it's fragrant and translucent is going to really intensify the stock flavor. One of the unique things that I do is I take a paring knife and just cut little slits into the chicken. That'll help infuse the stock flavor throughout the chicken. I've added the 32 ounces of pre-made chicken stock to the stock pot. I also have a video for this, which I'll leave the link to in the information section below. Added the rest of the vegetables, including the ginger, which I don't think I've emphasized enough is such an important part of this dish. And then we'll add the chicken and bring it up to a simmer. So we have a nice simmer going, and we've got just a little bubbly action there. And there are some impurities that have popped up, and they will, and we need to skim off the impurities that come up, the little cloudy bits. So skim this off about once every 10 minutes or so during the 40-minute cooking period. And I've left the lid off now, as some of the stock will evaporate, but it will make much more intense, flavorful chicken long rice for us. All right, it's been 40 minutes. We're going to do a final little skim here. I'm going to go ahead and remove the chicken, set it aside to cool, and I'll go ahead and leave this stock on low till the chicken cools so it can build a little bit more flavor. Then I'll strain it, shred the chicken, and add the noodles, and 5 minutes later we're going to be done. While the chicken cools, it's the perfect time to prepare our garnish. I just have some green onions and slice them up, and we'll set them aside. The chicken has cooled, so now it's time to shred the chicken. I'll remove the skin, and you could shred this with your hands, but I like the finer shredding that's done by a couple of forks. And then we'll set aside, like I said, the skin and the bones, and we'll put the shredded chicken into a bowl. So as we strain the stock, it's okay if we leave little bits in there, that's fine. We're trying to get the major vegetables out. There's our, look at that ginger. Oh. So I strained most of the vegetables and the mirepoix out. So it's almost perfectly clear stock, full of flavor. It's time to add back in the chicken, the noodles, let it cook for about 5 minutes. So we're adding the chicken back in. I've added the chicken back in, give it a quick stir. What's important about these noodles is you want to make sure you strain them before you add them back in, because otherwise you'll dilute the stock, and we do not want to do that. We want the most intense, flavorful stock we can have. So we've added the noodles, time to check our seasoning. Always taste and season. Yep, it's just a little bit of salt. Wonderful chicken, I can taste the ginger in there. Amazing. And so what we want to do is bring this to a simmer again, cover it until the noodles are clear, about another 5 or 10 minutes. So ready to serve. I recommend using tongs. Beautiful. And then if necessary, to get a little more of this of the soup base of the stock. Take a ladle. Beautiful. You can smell the ginger, you can smell the chicken. It's wonderful. Garnish with a little green onion. And here you have an island classic chicken long rice. If you like this video, please subscribe. Leave me a comment. Love to know what you think. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.